Welcome to Audrey Wilkinson Vineyard and the cellar door, which is ominously quiet. My name is James Agnew. I'm the General Manager of Audrey Wilkinson Wines, and this is another episode of Behind the Barrel. Here is the barrel. We're doing a series of videos for you guys stuck at home in the hope that we can bring a little bit of the experience of the cellar door and the Hunter Valley to you whilst we're all stuck fighting the good fight. We're doing a series of videos on wines. We're doing a number of videos on the history of Audrey Wilkinson. We're going to do a couple of videos behind the scenes in the winery and in the vineyard, and we're going to talk about all those elements that come together to help us make the wines that you guys love, that we love making as well. Today we've got the 2017 WInemakers Selection Malbec. Get my fingers out the road. Malbec is a French variety, in fact, but it's probably better known these days globally as being the chief wine out of Argentina, Argentinian Malbec. It's quite delicious. It is one of the permitted varieties in a Bordeaux blend, and that's really where it had its original home, was in Bordeaux. Over the years, though, they tended to favour Cabernet and Merlot in their blends, and Cabernet Franc to a degree, as Malbec is a tricky thing to grow and wasn't as reliable as some of the other varieties. The vines that we have for our Malbec are almost 50 years old. They're really quite old, and I'm not aware of too many vineyards in Australia with a vineyard holding of Malbec that's quite that old. As I say, it's one of these classic noble varieties. It is something that I think we're the only ones in the Hunter that make. And when it is good, it is fantastic. And indeed, 2017, 18 and 19, these are the three great red years. This is a wine of real standing and substance. So let's get into it, shall we? Satisfying splash of wine. It's a very lovely, bright, purpley red colour. And immediately on the nose you're getting ripe plums and leather. There's a hint of cherry and blackberry about it as well. And a bit of like a leafiness, like a blackcurrant leafiness, which is something that you can imagine seeing in a Bordeaux blend, you know, that sort of leafy, tea leafy character. It's certainly present here. And just a little touch of sweetness, like a nutmeggy sweetness on the nose as well. It's quite an integrated and involved wine. It's had a few years in bottle now as well, so it's really settling into itself. And on the palate, it's really, there's some drying tannins there, but there's red cherry, sort of shifts into a red fruit spectrum rather than that black-blue fruit spectrum. But there's red cherry, red plum, there's a strong hint of leather about it as well. It's starting to show some age characteristic in there. It's still, I would still say it's more medium bodied than full bodied. And you can see the colour's got a degree of translucency to it. So it's not a big heavy style red at all. Again, very much what you'd expect and what you'd be looking for, what you should be looking for in a Hunter red is more that medium bodied territory rather than a full bodied style of red. Certainly ticks those boxes. And again, a distinct flavour profile. Something that you wouldn't ordinarily see in a lot of wines because it's a Malbec. If you put that up against an Argentinian Malbec, I'd have to say the Argentinian Malbecs would not be as complex, I would argue. They tend to be a much more fuller bodied style of wine rather than this more mid-body style of wine. But just a delicious, bright, refreshing, crispy, crunchy style of red wine.